Alright, what's up you guys? Welcome to another exciting episode here on SHARKNEWZ Xtra. And in this episode, I wanted to go over something more on the lighthearted side, and that's sharing the excitement for JADA TOYS Street Fighter. Now, for those who have not collected this line, I will tell you that JADA Toys is probably the only company, at least in action figure and video game history, to complete an entire roster of a video game franchise. Now, for someone like me who's a huge Mortal Kombat fan, it's completely devastating to know that brands who do Mortal Kombat video game lines have always lost the license and never really completed an entire video game roster, whether that's from the first game or the games like in the modern era. However, Street Fighter JADA Toys really stepped up the game by giving us all these amazing, I guess you can say, accurate costumes or accurate design and sculpting of action figures for the Street Fighter franchise, and they absolutely killed it. I mean, they're doing a fantastic job. So in this episode, I wanted to briefly go over every single Street Fighter toy that we know of so far, and this excludes the figures that have not been released yet, because we know that they are coming. They have been shown during many Comic-Con events, but these are just the ones that have been officially revealed so far. And if I've forgotten one, please let me know in the comments below. But for now, let's just go ahead and take a look at these, and then I will do an updated video once we have all the other figures released. But for the time being, let's take a look at what we know so far. So we're going to take a look at Wave 1, and I'm going to what I'm going to do within this video is I'm going to mix and match the exclusives and other variants within a specific character's folder, just so it makes it easier for me to know like the different versions. So let's take a look at Chun-Li first, and this figure is awesome. You know, it's not so often that we get like an actual Chun-Li figure where she looks like how she does in the actual video game. I mean, this is one of those instances where you get a figure and she literally looks like she just came out of the video game. It's very rare, not so often that it happens, and the fact that it's more, I mean, whatever it is, you want to use it as a cartoon version or a video game version, I mean, she just looks absolutely awesome. I know that the articulation is also there as well, and I love the vibrant colors of these figures as well. Effects and all the additional hands aside, now I know the pricing could be around, I think they started off like around $20. I could be wrong, but then I know they're heading towards the $30 price range. But overall, like, I love the blues, the reds, the yellows, the facial expression, all that just looks amazing. I mean, she's awesome. Then we have a Player 2 Chun-Li where she's actually wearing red. And again, it's technically the same sculpt and everything, just she's, you know, the Player 2 version. So if you play the video games, you know that Player 2 variants have a different color scheme compared to the original ones that you pick. So still great. I mean, you just kind of like alter the colors a bit. Then we have Chun-Li, that's part of San Diego Comic-Con 2024. This one is roughly kind of the same as the Player 2 version, but with the red pants, now you have like a pink torso and more additional head sculpts and hands and the effects for her kicking and stuff. So it's a great looking figure. Man, she's just awesome. I mean, I do love her bracelets too with the spikes on it. So, and one thing to note is that for Street Fighter characters, their proportions have always been unique compared to other fighting games, whereas, you know, their body sizes have always been more, you know, exaggerated. But here, I mean, at least I love the proportions of this figure. I mean, she just looks absolutely incredible. Next, we have the character Fei Long. Now, I'm not necessarily a fan of Fei Long just because he was the Bruce Lee inspired character, but give me 1 second here. But Fei Long came roughly like later on in my timeline, not too far off, but I wasn't like, I knew Street Fighter at this point, but I kind of fell off just a little bit when Fei Long came in, even though he came in a little bit earlier in the games. But not necessarily one of my favorites, but he's still cool. I mean, he's got the alternate head and the hands and the flame effects, so I mean, that's awesome. I mean, it's very standard, again, very Bruce Lee inspired character, so at least the fact that they included him in Wave 1 was a nice addition, just because, you know, to kind of get this guy out of the way, which is, it's fine. I mean, it's cool. Then Fei Long also got a Player 2 version where, unfortunately, there's no white background version, but we can see that he has additional head sculpts with the open mouth. He got nunchucks, flame effects. His pants, instead of black, they're now purple. So very simple, it's straightforward, but again, the articulation, the sculpting and molds, butterfly joints, all it's great. I mean, again, these are supposed to be video game and slightly cartoon like accurate style designs and sculpts, so you're not going to get like a lot of detail, but the basic details are there. So that's what I appreciate about Street Fighter. Then we take a look at Ryu, and Ryu is, you know, he's Ryu, and I just keep on forgetting to Ryu is such a pivotal character in the Street Fighter line, so the fact that we have Ryu here first, there's multiple versions of Ryu in terms of what your preferred design is. Now, Ryu has always had like a bulkier stature, and it's fine for what it is. And you know, depending on your hairstyle as well, but he does have the red bandana or the red headband, the paddings on the arms or the forearms, and the wrists. The white outfit looks great. He's barefoot, he's got the ripped edges, and he's got the Hadouken effect. Really awesome. And the face sculpt is okay. Like, I don't think it's like 100% there, but they did a pretty decent job with it, so I'm pleased with it. Nothing too crazy about it, but it's still Ryu. Like, he's always been one of the more definitive Street Fighter characters in the line. Ryu also came with a Player 2 outfit where he was in gray with the blue headband, and this is awesome too, because, like, you know, again, all these characters get Player 2 outfits. Literally roughly the same design and sculpt. I just love how he has like the text on the belt, which makes it stand out a bit more. So you can never go wrong with multiple versions of like martial artists in general. It's so damn cool. I love it. Different head sculpt, I believe, too, I think. Then Ryu also came in a San Diego Comic-Con 2023 edition. Hopefully, yep. Whereas it's more of the Evil Ryu, where he has his eyes all whitened. He's got the red headband, but he has more of the darker gray, like slate gray, bluish tones within the gi outfit. He's got these boards that you can break apart, and he's got more flame effects or Hadouken effects. And yeah, he looks more evil, more menacing, more distraught. So that's awesome. Again, that's really up to you and your preference, but it's fine. So the fact that we've gotten 3 Ryus at this point, it's you know, they need to focus on other characters, which they have, which is good. But 3 Ryus right in the beginning, you know, kind of sets the bar pretty high. So that was Wave 1, and then in Wave 2, we'll take a look at Dhalsim. And we have the original first version of Dhalsim, which I've seen multiple times in stores. I haven't picked it up, but he still looks absolutely incredible. Now, again, JADA Toys did the due diligence of adding, you know, the stretchy arms and legs, which is a very important trait for Dhalsim. I love how he has a skeleton necklace. The face paint on the head sculpt looks great. You can see that there is a little bit of a yellow wash on the pants, and nice muscle definition too. Now, again, if this was another brand in terms of like, I don't want to say like higher end, but like more of an upscaled brand, you would know that they would have added some wash or details within the veins or the muscles of the figure. but nonetheless, like, at least it's a good improvement in terms of what we had before in the old 90s Toy Biz version. He does have the silver rings that go across his wrist, and then the yellow bandages and all that with a screaming face. Alternate hands as well, so that's great. Then Dhalsim also came back in this year in 2025 for San Diego Comic-Con, where he was given the Player 2 version. I'm trying to find a better photo. I think this one's good. The Player 2 version where he has the bluer tones, and they're using the elephant background from the video game, which is so freaking awesome. You can literally hear the elephants here. Same sculpt and everything, just he's doing his signature dancing, and he just has the blue tones with the red substituted for pinks now, and just like reversed colors with a little more of a orangish hues to the pants. So really awesome. So then so that was Dhalsim. We're still waiting. We're probably gonna get another version somewhere down the line, maybe. For Ken had his original version first. I keep getting to do these into JPEG, so forgive me. Give me a second here. All right, so Ken is a welcoming addition to the Street Fighter line. He's got his blonde hair, roughly same sculpt as Ryu, alternate head, hands, and Hadouken effects. Stand. His face sculpt is a little more cartoony, which is, it's fine because it's Street Fighter, nothing too crazy there. But they did add some shading inside the chest, and then you can see some more vein sculpting on the arms and some slight wash details by the biceps and shoulders. So you can see that they are adding some new details as the waves progress. So that's good. But head sculpt wise, you know, I would like to have more of a modern-ish Street Fighter in terms of like something with more detail. But again, this is more video game accurate, so can't nitpick too much. Still, it's a fantastic looking figure. Then Ryu has came back with a Player 2 outfit. One second here. All right. He had a Player 2 outfit where this one he's wearing the white gi with the black belt, and then everything else is roughly the same. Hadouken effects, flame effects, alternate hands, and head sculpt. So yeah, figure looks pretty good. I mean, it's technically the same thing. Would I want because this is technically like, it's like looking at Ryu but just with Ken in his outfit, so this would probably be a pass for me if I were to ever come across this version. However, in 2024 for San Diego Comic-Con, we had the Violent Ken, which was, I guess, like Evil Ken, where he had more of a lighter highlights for his hair. He's got the broken canisters on the side, which is a very pivotal thing to, or the barrels, very pivotal to the Street Fighter level of Ken. He's got the white eyes, and then he's got the more evil expressions, more of the different flame effects, but I mean, it serves its purpose for an exclusive, so can't go wrong with that. It's pretty decent for what it is. Looks very, very scary and spooky. And inside the details, you can see that there are some pinks and different color schemes to give it like the evil effect. And I think there are also some pinks within the gis. You can see by the crotch piece and legs. So there's some pink shading. That's pretty cool. So like I said, they're adding more details as the line progresses. So we have 3 versions of Ken, so rightfully so fits with the aesthetic of Ryu with 3 versions. Then we have M. Bison. Awesome figure. This guy looks incredible. I love the beefy nature of him. I love just the overall design. The thing about him is that it's simple, but at the same time it adds enough detail to give you that Street Fighter aesthetic. And again, it's more very simple and like basic designs, which is kind of like it's an on and off for me. But when you look at it in the Street Fighter world, it works, right? He's got the cape, the shoulder armor, the shin guards, the gauntlets, and then the boots, hefty boots. He's got his flame effects and alternate head sculpts and hands and stuff. So I mean, he just fits that bulkiness of Bison anyway, so it's so damn cool. Then we also got a Player 2 M. Bison, which this one surprisingly is a very good looking figure, even though it's literally the same exact thing, but you can see here that we have the same version, same figure, just in a teal blue with the light yellows, and then we got the red, the silvers, the red substituting for the silvers, and then black cape. So the player 2 version is pretty cool. I love that bluish color tones that they used for him, so nothing too crazy there, but at least they gave us something very unique. But one of my favorite ones we have here is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive from 2025, which is the exclusive version of M. Bison. This one's probably a good one. We'll use this one. We have another variant of M. Bison where he's wearing the green with the oranges. He's got a signature level in the background, more of an exciting facial expression. He's got the black cape, and yeah, I mean, this one is cool just because he has more, you know, different variant color schemes, and you can see the texturing on the torso, which is really awesome. So I think a lot of the gis and outfits that the other characters have are utilizing the same appearance, which is pretty cool. Yeah, otherwise it's freaking awesome. And this M. Bison and Dhalsim that we saw with the purple color tones, they come with the flame effects, which we'll talk about shortly. But that was wave 2 of Street Fighter for JADA Toys. As we head into wave 3, and you can kind of see the pattern here, as we usually get 3 figures per wave. Next, we're going to take a look at Cammy. Cammy is a pretty badass character, and despite surprisingly me knowing who she is and playing the game that she debuted in, this was also around the time where I was slowly falling off of Street Fighter, so it's like I know who Cammy is, but haven't been too much of a fan of her, but she's still badass regardless. Her facial expression looks dope. I love the body portions, and then the extra head sculpt of her yelling, the effects, and then the alternate hands, and just the overall detail that she comes with. She has the camo patterns on her legs, the green torso, all that. And she's got the beret. Again, so it's more like, so the thing about JADA Toys is that they're very great at doing just solid coloring. I would love to see them do like shading and more, I don't want to say detail, but just something with more in the coloring aspect, like just add some black washes into it to make it a little more grittier. But again, it's Street Fighter, it's supposed to be a little bit more vibrant and colorful, so it's fine. Cammy also came with a player 2 version. So this color scheme surprisingly is okay. Like it's really not a bad color scheme by any means. I do like this one. She has like the silver tones for the torso. The camo patterns are more, instead of green, they're silver, kind of like the grayish bluish tones of silver as well. The gauntlets are pink, beret is pink, and then the boots look pretty good with the pink socks underneath. So yeah, I mean, it looks great. Can't say anything nitpicking wise, but she's just awesome. Like, you can just see how great the articulation is on these figures because the posability is really great. And I love how they captured that whole aesthetic on her. Next, we have Deejay. Now, Deejay is a character that appeared, my first introduction to Deejay was surprisingly not the video game, but more so the 1994 Street Fighter movie where he appeared with M. Bison and Zangief and stuff like that. So Deejay is a pretty cool character. Just I don't really have an attachment to him, but I do like how he has the 2 ponytail braids, the orange outfit with the blue, purple, the darker blue patterns on the sides, the flame effects, the stands, and alternate hands. So these figures are very limited in accessories, but at least I'm very grateful that JADA Toys is giving us alternate heads and hands and stuff. So very, very impressed and pleased with it. And he has a gold chain too, and both facial expressions are cool. So Deejay only has one variant for the time being that I'm aware of. Then we have Guile, who's a very popular character in the Street Fighter franchise. Now for Guile, I have mixed reactions or mixed feelings towards, just because for Guile, it's like everything about it looks freaking awesome. It's just the face sculpt looks a little bit too lackluster. It's not as detailed. It's not it looks very plain. It's kind of like a step back compared to the first earlier waves. It looks more toyish, if that makes sense. Like the first figures from the first few waves, they have like more shading and detail, but here Guile looks like kind of underwhelming. But the body, the pants, the camo pants, and the boots, like all that looks fantastic. The hair is fine. It's just there's something about his head sculpt that I'm not too much a fan of, but it's fine. At least for what it is. He's got the American flag on the left shoulder, and then he's got his comb on his right hand, and then flame effects. Shoot, whatever you call it, his signature move. Damn, slipping off the top of my head, but I'll come back to it eventually once I remember it. But it's still a cool looking figure. Then Guile was also given the Player 2 treatment. Oh, Sonic Boom. There you go. It's not the Sonic Boom effect. So Guile comes with a Player 2 outfit, where now he has the blue outfit with the blue camo patterns and then same effects, just a slightly different. Same style with the hands and the comb and then the facial expressions, but I like my Guile when he's more in green. Not really a fan of the blues, but he's got the dog tags and stuff like that. So great addition. Just I'm not really a fan of Player 2 color schemes because I like it when they have like their strategic regular color schemes. So that was Guile, and that was wave 3. And at the moment of making this video, we are only on, I like to include these in wave 4. So even though both of these two figures came together and one of them came separately, but I'm just going to include them in wave 4. First one we're going to take a look at here is Blanka. And give me a second here. This figure looks awesome. One of the nitpicks again that I still have on this figure, which could have been a little bit better, is the body should have had more sculpting and line work for his muscle definitions, because Blanka is usually super duper ripped. And again, I know these are more like the standard and basic styles of these figures for JADA Toys, but you know, I'm at least happy that they gave him the angered facial expression, the electric effects, and then he's got the chains on his ankles, and then the fur, which is textured or sculpted very nicely, and then the lime green color skin tone, which is good. And then the hair is sculpted really well too. It's just one of those things where it could have been slightly better in terms of just the sculpting on the torso, but it's still it's a freaking awesome figure. And I love how at least they gave him the effects and the alternate hands and head sculpt. So and plus Blanka is usually like hunched over, whereas this one he's standing straight. And I think it's a pretty tall figure compared to other Street Fighter figures in the way, but I'm not sure if I have seen a comparison of it, but I think he stands a bit taller compared to the others, but it's still a good looking one. And Blanka has only had one color scheme at the moment. I'm sure we'll probably get a variant of Blanka at some point, like a Player 2 version, but we'll see. Then we have Sagat, which also came in the wave with Blanka as well. And give me one second here. I know based on the live events that Sagat had, it stands pretty tall compared to other characters. So I like the fact that despite his simplicity, he looks pretty badass. I mean, I love the what is it, Toga Flames? That's probably wrong, but that's how I remember it in the video game. The eye patch looks cool, the white eyes looks great, and then the straps, the bandages around the forearms, and even the ankles and feet look awesome. The blue shorts, reds, such a great line, man. Like I hope to collect these at some point. It's just there's other brands I'm collecting, but I do wish to complete or buy this line at some point, which would, you know, be great in my Street Fighter collection, hopefully someday in the future. But I do love his facial expression, which is awesome. So I love how the other one has the teeth showing. Only one version of Sagat so far. And the latest figure that we have at the moment that recently went up for pre-order not too long ago, but we had Vega, and this one is really cool. Vega was sometimes one of my favorite characters in the Street Fighter line, and this one seems a bit more updated because even though Vega in the game, he was more lanky and skinnier and just slimmer, I suppose. With this one, he has like a lot more muscle definition, which is fine. Nothing wrong with that. I do love the pretty face, the ponytail, the braids. I mean, it looks awesome. He's got the gold band, the gauntlets, and then the claw, some deco there. I believe it's a snake deco on his torso. He's got a cloth piece on the waist, and then the purple pants with the yellow stripe, and then the high socks and shoes. Looks fine. I mean, personally for me, for Vega, when I think of Vega, I think of him wearing the mask. So he has to have the mask. It's very iconic. But I'm very grateful that they gave 3 alternate head sculpts. You got the unmasked head sculpt, you have the masked, and then the ponytail version, and then he's got the gloved and the open hand non-gloved version, and then the effects as well. So very awesome, but very cool nonetheless. So that was what I like to consider wave 4, and then we also have these 2 effects that came with that M. Bison and Dhalsim figure that I talked to you guys about earlier. Those look really awesome. You can see how whenever a character gets hit by the flame effects, that they just get the blues or red tones, which is a very nice, awesome addition into the line. I mean, I'm so happy that they did this. Very, very cool. I mean, like, the fact that they gave us alternate versions of whatever effect you're using on the character, like, you can just hear these effects in your head if you're, if you played Street Fighter growing up, which is really awesome. Now, at the time of making this video, I do know that there is characters like Ehonda, there's Thawk, there's Zangief, and then there's Balrog. I don't know if there's any other characters aside from those 4 that I'm missing, but let me know in the comments below. However, I do know for the fact that as of making this video, they have completed the entire Street Fighter roster, at least for this game. Whereas they have officially moved on to the next Street Fighter game, which I think was Alpha. I think so. There's a few characters in that already, and some of them are teased. So until we get the last remaining like 4 characters from this line, again, like Ehonda, Balrog, Zangief, and then Thawk. Oh, and there's also Akuma. Don't forget Akuma. I think I forgot to put Akuma. I think they're also coming in as well. So I'll be sure to do an updated video, but for now, that's just, you can just see how amazing these Street Fighter characters are, and I just love it. They're a great addition into the line. So with that being said, stay tuned for more updates, because I would love to talk more about this, and thank you all for subscribing to the channel. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for the next video, as there's a lot more figures that I want to go over on this SHARKNEWZ Xtra channel. So thanks again for watching. Thank you for subscribing, and I'll see you all. And let me know in the comments below, do you collect Street Fighter from JADA Toys? Are they a great line? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll talk to you all in the next episode.